What should new real estate agent ask about particular fees?
Which you need to spend more time now. You do your work, you experienced, and in Miami, it's completely different environment. It's more international. And then after you have free agents, it was easier. You can say, oh, we have like big company.
Okay, so hi Nick.
Hi, Matt.
Just for our future readers, give me a little bit of your backstory. How you started with real estate?
Sure. So I started my career in real estate in 2010.
How old you were?
I was like 22.
Okay.
And I took a class in real estate at the University of Florida, because I was thinking actually that if I pass this class, I will get a license right away. But I didn't. So I had to go through real estate school. But this happened later, like around 2012. And this was in-person real estate school, because back then there was not too many online schools. And that's how I got into real estate. Yeah, and I bought my first property back in 2011.
In 2011, what it was?
It was a townhome, one town.
Do you remember how much you paid?
So this one was $200,000. It was a foreclosure, I believe, in Palm Beach Gardens. Yeah.
And how much you invested, and what was your profit?
I invested maybe like $5,000, but it was in very good area, so I was able to rent it right away. It had like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I rented to tenants. They lived there for like 1.5 or 2 years, and then I sold it for like $265.
Wow,
something like that. So I made there my income on appreciation pretty much. But when it was purchased initially, because after university I was working for corporation, so I was able to get very good financing terms. It was with Citibank, because it was Ford Credit. They have agreement with Citibank. So I put down 20% and then financed the rest. So basically return on investment was maybe like 50% IRR or 100% in total. Because I invested only 20% from 200,000. So it was about 65, something like that. Yeah.
Good. So
and I was making income. So, and also the rental payment was covering completely
interest
and principal both. So that's why, like, back then it worked. When you buy it on foreclosure, you have privilege terms from the bank to get financing, that it will cover the payment, and then when the market is appreciating, you can sell it and make the profit.
So you were covering all the payments from rent and then get appreciation from market, selling it for like plus 30% versus the price.
Then I sold it, and from the profit I made, part of it went to, like, already I had expenses for the brokerage firm. The rest I invested. I just bought like apartment on the auction. When back then it's like you were able to get them for like, I think I paid $35,000 for it. It was in Dania Beach, very old complex, but it was nice. It was like east of US 1, and it was like just a studio, 400 square feet.
400 square feet.
How much you paid? 33,000.
33,000. Okay.
And then rented for 1,000 a month.
Okay, so
was
like
renting it
30% interest just on renting it out.
And was renting it for about 3 years, so it completely like paid off the investment. And then I sold it, I believe, for 90,000 after 3 years.
So market was growing that fast.
I bought it in auction, so it had very good interior already.
So
in it.
You already had your real estate license back then.
Yeah.
But I mean, from like general viewer perspective, you don't necessarily need real estate license to do such transactions, right?
You don't need to, but like when I bought my first property, I didn't have real estate license. So I worked with an agent. But when you sell the property, you can save like this commission amount. For example, you as a seller pay on average 6%, right?
Okay.
To your agent, and they share with the other agent. So in total, 6%. Plus the closing fees, which you pay to the state. Depends on your location, but it can be up to 8-9% in total you pay from the amount you're selling the property to the brokers and to the government entities.
Got it.
So
And how much you save if you
You can save about 3%.
Okay.
If you have a license, you decide to list your own home, you have access to MLS, you list it through MLS, and that's it. You can sell it. The only thing you have expenses, of course, to get your license. So you go to real estate school. Obviously, it's not a large expense, but still, the main expense I think will be the MLS, multiple listing service, where you need to pay like yearly fee. It's about, in our area in South Florida, you pay $900.
$900 per month?
Per year.
Per year. Okay. And whether your broker is giving you access to MLS or every agent should pay individual?
Every broker pays like a company fee.
Okay.
So we pay more for company access. But then every agent who join us, we have a subscription to most of the MLSs in Florida, actually. And if an agent join us in one of the counties, we have sometimes we can give them options to join either one. For example, if they're joining in Miami, we have Miami Association of Realtors and RAPB, Real Estate Association of Palm Beaches. But they're all interconnected. So you can see listings in both if you have access to each one. The main difference is that each association have their own locations for training. So for example, if you live in downtown Miami, probably Miami Association of Realtors is better because you don't need to drive to the classes. And you want to attend some of the classes which they're offering. It's free, it's included in your subscription, and you will learn the system. I mean, obviously they're all online as well, but sometimes you need to go to board
and speak with an experienced person.
Speak with a person or grab, like there is such thing as log boxes. It's called Supra. It's electronic log boxes, which you need to activate and go to the office, pick them up. Sometimes there's issues with them. You still need to go to the office, grab them, do something with them.
Okay. To finalize the topic about being agent or not being agent for your real estate transactions, if I understood you correctly, let's say 500,000 transaction and you're saving 3% roughly being a licensed agent. So it's like 15 grand.
You need to, but you can save not 15 grand exactly, but you need to understand each brokerage have their own terms, right? In our brokerage, if you're working with us and you're an agent and you sell your own property, you only pay transaction fees. So it depends on the price of the property, but if it's $500,000, you will pay about, I believe, $795 transaction fee. That's the only payment.
$795% or
no, $795. So if it's your own property, we as a brokerage firm, we try to support our agents. We don't want to, take more from our agents if it's their own business. So if it's their own property, we'll only charge transaction fee, which is like $795 for that amount.
What do you mean their own? They're selling?
They're selling their own property.
Okay, theirs own. Okay.
If they work with clients, right? In our brokerage firm, Vera Realty, we have different split systems. So splits, it depends on the experience. Agent will pay certain amount to the brokerage firm. So in our firm, it starts with 80-20. So
80-20.
80 to the agent, 20 to the brokerage firm. And then as soon as they get through experience, they go through training, they go through few transactions, they can move to 90-10. And after 90-10, if they do perform very well, they sell a lot, there's an option they can go to 95-5 for a certain time if they meet the threshold.
95-5 meaning they're leaving 95% themselves.
But the transaction fees always stays, because transaction fees, they support the office staff. We have a lot of expenses as a brokerage firm as well.
Got it. So it's $790
for this example of $500,000 home.
Got it. Okay, we went a little bit too far into the brokerage, and I want to get back to this topic a little bit later.
Yes.
Let's get back to your early years. So you flipped one house, then
we flipped many homes.
Okay, so how it worked? So
how it worked? Yeah. So after I got my license, I decided to go into real estate full time, right? And before I actually got my license, I already was in real estate full time. So what happened? My family, we sold properties overseas in Moscow. So we had to invest funds here locally in Florida. And in order to invest them correctly, this was my goal, to start analyzing the properties, finding them. And we secured a few good deals from the banks for foreclosures. But how I get into that? So we worked with one agent in Palm Beach County, and he helped us to actually initially buy a few properties as well. So, and back then I was working still in corporation. So I was talking to him and asking him, okay, how much you make, and he will say, okay, about 150,000 per year. Back then I was making like 40,000 per year. Plus I had to be in the office all the time. It was long hours in front of the computer in the cubicle. So
you already felt some success from your first transaction.
Yeah, exactly. And I decided to change my career, decided to go into real estate, moved to Florida, studied hard, get the license. And then I went through a selection of brokerage firms. I went to interviews with many of them, with like large names, with small firms. I really was looking for where I will feel comfortable as an agent. That was very important for me. And one of the companies I met with the recruiter, she was very nice, friendly, open. She showed me the office, and she was very open about the terms. And they were not the best from the selection with whom I met, but I really liked.
Not the best, you mean commercial terms wasn't the best?
No, I mean the splits and how much you pay, the desk fees, etc. So I liked the environment, and I went with them, and it was a very good experience, because before you can start your own firm, your brokerage company, you need to work as a broker, as an agent, because there are 3 levels of licenses: sales associate, then broker associate, and then the broker's license. And each has its own steps how to get there.
Yeah. Okay, so you started working with this brokerage company.
Yep.
So how long you were working with them?
With them, I was working for 1 year. Then I transferred to another brokerage company. With them, I spent another.
Why, by the way?
Because I actually switched the location. I moved to downtown Miami, and I changed the brokerage.
So just better logistics.
Better logistics, and I learned completely different side of things in Miami in comparison to West Palm. Because West Palm and Palm Beach area, it's more traditional real estate. Everybody knows, like, you are in real estate, you're an agent, that you would do your work, you experienced. And in Miami, it's completely different environment. It's more international. It's like South America here, European, CIS region. It's like a whole melting pot, and it's completely different vibe, completely different environment for agents.
So you decided to move there, and you changed your brokerage.
Yep.
Got it. So how long you were working as an agent before moving forward in your career?
Yeah, I was working as an agent for almost 2.5 years before I got my broker associate license, and then I decided to open the brokerage firm already.
What's the difference between broker associate, and broker?
Broker associate, when you get in the license for broker associate, you need to show the experience, the past transactions, your really track record that as an agent, did so much. Then you get broker associate license. You need to work for some time with a broker as a broker associate, and also get a letter of recommendation from your broker that you know the transactions, you know the rules, you know how to do compliance checks, etc. Then you can apply for broker license and open the company. So when you have your company open, like our company is Vera Realty LLC, to get a license for the brokerage firm, you need to take your broker associate license and transfer it to your company. And then you become broker of record. You fill out specific applications, and you become broker of record for your company. And that's meaning if you own you're the broker now. And of course, you need to do a lot of due diligence, how to open the company, insurances, the licenses, the office, the staff. So all that has to come in place, and then you can.
Okay. And thinking about the financial result for this transaction, how much extra are you earning from one deal if you are a broker as well?
So if you have your agent license, sales associate license, then you get your broker associate license, but you perform the same task in your company, there's no difference.
Okay.
The only difference, what you can do, you can talk to your broker and see if they can allocate, for example, some extra work in the company. Or sometimes the broker associate, what they can do within their brokerage firm, they can decide and talk to the broker about opening a new office where they will be the managers. Again, it's very individual. Or sometimes they can open their own company. It's up to them. If they have stamina to, do the sales, at the same time manage the office and have budget allocated towards a new brokerage firm, they can do that too. It's a very individual approach. And for me, it was always interesting not to just do sales, but also to have a structure and, behind it, which will support other parts of the business. Because as an agent, you cannot do everything, and you have to delegate or you have to work with people. So that's why you as an agent need to understand what niche you go into. And after you learn that niche, maybe you can transfer to different niche, or you can become a broker associate, open your office within other firms, or become a broker and open your own company.
When you're talking about niche, what do you mean? I mean, whether it's like commercial real estate or residential real estate, what do you mean under niche in this exact case?
So the niche is, you need to pick your area of expertise where you want to become like super proficient, because there are a lot of agents out there, and you need to, as an agent, you need to select a specific area, specific part of real estate business. It can be rentals, commercial, residential, industrial. It's a lot of ways you can go into. And I think you, as an agent, you can structure it based on your background. So let's say your background is in industrial, corporation. You work head of warehousing in some, Fortune 500 company. So you know all about warehouses. So why you will get your license and go into, residential?
Doesn't make sense.
Go into commercial because you have connections there already. Number one, maybe area where you've been working, the warehousing over there, the supply and demand.
Probably even few clients.
Exactly. And some few clients, you can go back to your VPs in your corporation, talk to them and introduce yourself. That's how you pick your niche. If you've been working in in some community development department within a local division where you know a lot of people, and you always talk, you hear from them that they always move around, or they're looking for new properties. You can go into residential because you already have network. Very important to have a network.
Okay, so as far as I understand, between becoming an agent and your transitioning into brokerage, it wasn't that long. It only takes 3 years, right?
3 years approximately.
Okay. And have you started hiring agents immediately, or you continue working for yourself?
No, I the idea was actually to start hiring immediately, and it was very hard to hire first few agents. Up to 10 agents, it was very hard because
nobody knows.
Agent will ask, what's the company, how many brokers or agents you have, and you'll say just one.
Yourself.
Yeah, myself. But what we had, so I did the partnership with the attorney, business attorney and immigration attorney, and with the accounting firm. So when we bought an office space, it was in the city of Hollywood. And then we had the 3 businesses over there: real estate, business and immigration attorney, law firm, and accounting. So it was good circulation of clients. And also sometimes the clients will bring their real estate agents and they will see like the logos, etc., and they will ask. But first agent I hired, he was one of my friends actually. He joined the company. Second agent was son of my client. She used to sell with me properties in West Palm. And then third agent came through. It was actually a law firm did some event, and one of the clients came to the event. She saw that we have a real estate firm, and then her sister came to see me. So she was the third agent. And then after you have three agents, it was easier. You can say, oh, we have like big company.
Okay. So how, like, I mean, many new agents will be interested in this information, but okay, you have a brand new brokerage, few agents joined you. How they bring you new business, like how it works.
They bring their new business because you need to teach them how to find the business, or they have their own clients already, or they have their network. So when they announce their network that I have a real estate license, I can help you. That's how the number one way how they get the business. Number two, they need to do their own marketing too. Yeah, as a brokerage firm, I was doing marketing locally. Like I used to buy all the visual ads, like the bus stops, like benches, the visual banners. And we did a lot of social media ads. We did mailing campaigns. That's all to generate leads.
And you were paying for this as a broker. Okay.
I was paying for this as a broker, getting the leads, and leads were distributed to the agents via CRM system. And that's how it worked. Then we start working with Zillow Group, and we were still premier brokerage firm with them, where we buy leads from Zillow and then distribute leads to the agents as well.
Got it. Whether it's normal practice or only you were doing this. I mean, if right now a new agent on the market will join any brokerage firm, they will start giving them leads, or they will need to hunt for leads by themselves?
It's really up to the brokerage firm. I mean, there's so many different business models. Some business models where the brokerage firm charge agents for leads, charge agents for training, charge agents for desk fees, for everything. But for example, if they do all that, maybe they have very good split system, like splits, meaning that agents can earn up to like 95% right away, for example. I chose different path. Initially, I was like that too, but I didn't charge, and I was trying to find the best business model, business structure. And I decided at first that I want to have like 1,000 agents. They'll pay monthly fees, and then we can spend on marketing, on leads generation, etc. But this model didn't really work because it takes a lot of time to recruit the agent, and then retention is very important. And when in the beginning you don't have enough budgets for retention, then agents can leave. So I decided to change business model, make it more a boutique firm where we provide leads. It's more family feel, and we don't need 1,000 agents. I mean, right now we have about 100 agents, and we have two companies. So Vera Realty and Vera Realty Referrals. And I'll tell more in detail what the referral company does.
Okay. Getting back to your decision to create a brokerage, you've hired your first few agents. So how things went afterwards? Like business was growing, whether it was good time on the market, how fast you were hiring new agents?
So I started hiring, and the hiring process took a lot of time too, because we went to how to recruit the agents. We went to real estate schools. We talked to them, or we talked to career fairs within these real estate schools. So because real estate schools, sometimes they will do career fair, and we will take a booth over there and be present. Plus, I think organically agents were joining the company because they knew that we speak different languages. They were like very international. We have a lot of clients coming from everywhere. We have an immigration attorney, business attorney, accounting firm. So this is really like the words were spreading, and agents who are joining, they will sometimes bring agents with them as well.
Right.
Yeah. And this was very, good for us, for the company. And slowly, but in terms of maybe 4 years, we grew up to around 50 agents.
Whether you were still doing your own transactions or you fully focused?
No, I had to do my own transactions because I had to invest in the company. We never took like a loan for the business development of the brokerage firm. It was never like, I never had a debt on it. It's like debt-free company pretty much. But I had to close transactions myself, and it was mostly like commercial deals, and I will invest back into the brokerage firm. Until I think after it became like 60 agents, 70 agents, then and the really e-brokerage was profitable in 2021, 2022. That was like the best years. That's when it really was generating very good cash flow and bringing a lot of deals because people were moving to Florida, and we had all the systems set up, like ready to go.
You were ready.
Yeah, we were ready. We had like a lot of agents. We had all the marketing. People knew our company already, and our agents were trained to do the marketing right. And I think that was a very successful time. I mean, right now, its market is also good for Florida. So I cannot complain, but 2022 was the best as far as performance. But we're still growing. We're on growth phase in terms of agents. We hired, I think, 10 agents last month because we have a new recruiting manager. She's doing a very good job. And the managing broker. So he is working with the agents all the time, training them, teaching them compliance and all that, contracts. And it's very important to have training in place.
So right now you have like fully scaled business process, so you can search for people, recruit them, educate them, train them, give them some leads, help them with closings, etc.
It's all about people. The brokerage firm is organized now that I don't take participation in it almost. Maybe I spend 5% of my time into the brokerage firm. The rest is more with investment company, with real estate development. But real estate development also helps brokerage because more apartments we're building, more we will be selling. And we will be selling exclusively with our team.
Oh, so you are, let's talk about it in a couple minutes. You're telling that right now brokerage takes like 5% of your time. Other than that, brokerage company is like managed by specially dedicated people.
Of course.
And what are you doing else outside of brokerage?
So outside of brokerage firm, we have a private investment company where we buy commercial real estate. So we co-invest into commercial deals, and also we do real estate development. Plus we have a real estate school, which we need to spend more time now.
Okay, so right now you're mostly focused on investment side.
Yeah.
Seeking for like redevelopment deals, investing money, investor relationships, etc. Got it. Okay, now let's get back to potential new agent challenges. So one just finished their real estate courses online, they obtained their license, they need to select the right broker.
Yeah.
So like, imagine I'm a new agent. What are my next steps? What should I do?
So at the final stages of your education, after you pass your like real estate school exam and you get ready for the main exam with the state, people already at that stages, they start researching the companies. They can go online, look at the area, find the brokerage firms. I will pick about 5 to 7 companies and go meet with the recruiting manager, with the broker. And I really advise to meet with both, because that's with whom you will be interacting going forward. Plus, you also need to understand which learning program they have, if any. If they don't have any, learning program or training, then it will be very hard for you to understand the contracts, understand the processes, the systems, and we as a company, that was my always concern when I joined my first brokerage, because it was training, but it was very light. And after I went through training, I had my first contract already. I had so many questions. I didn't have somebody to whom I can go and who will not be busy, because everybody were running around always. Like, I'll ask questions, I'll say, don't worry about it, just figure out yourself. So that's a bad answer. Like, broker need to know answer to 99% of the questions. And if,
in other words, like, you should expect, in the best case scenario, you should understand the exact person inside this brokerage firm.
Yeah.
Who you can
go to person, your mentor, and you need to know that there is support. So broker support is very important. That's number one advice for the agents. Find the brokerage firm where you have broker support and the training. Number two, see with whom you feel like comfortable working with, and if the location makes sense, if the office makes sense, etc. And number three, the terms. If you like all that, and then the terms will be like they charge you like 90% and you only get 10%, maybe.
What's market average?
Market average is usually, now the splits are like 80-20, 70-30, 90-10, based on your experience. But from 70-30 to 90-10 split, meaning like 90 goes to the to the agent, 10 goes to the company, right?
Okay.
And some transaction fees. That's normal if you're experienced. If you're unexperienced, then 70-30, I think that's now the standard.
Let's talk a little bit about different hidden fees. Like, let's say proposed terms are 70-30. What can be like in a fine print? What should new real estate agent ask about particular fees to make sure he or she understand the full picture?
They need to ask exactly if there are any sign-up fees. So when they join the company, do they need to pay anything? Are there any monthly fees? Are there any desk fees? Meaning,
what is desk?
Desk fees is like desk. If you come and work in the office, you want to spend time in the office, you pay for your desk.
Okay.
But some companies, they do have desk fees. Yeah. And then you need to ask about technology fees. If they charge you anything for technology, then you need to ask if there are any fees for leads, right? If they charge you for leads, if you need to buy them separately. Also, you need to ask if they charge for training. Some companies charge for training. You need to pay for training to go for it. That's another thing. And that's the scope of fees. And also insurance. So some companies, they will charge their agents errors and emission insurance individually or separately. And then some companies, they will have one policy which will cover all the agents. That's another question. So it's, all these questions are very important.
Listen,
but they have to be disclosed to you by the broker, by the recruiting manager ahead of time.
Got it. What's the market standard right now in terms of those fees? I mean, I'm just imagining new agent who is not generating any income right now. They invested in their education, they invested in their license. They only start working. Is it hypothetically or realistically possible not to pay any fees but get new knowledge, or like they should expect at least some expenditure?
It's really, so there is no like market standard. Every state is different, every location is different, depends on the situation in the market, depends on the density. But in South Florida, again, I'll tell you based on our company, we have for beginners, I think it's 80-20, 80 to the agent, 20 to the brokerage firm. And then we don't charge any fees for training, for subscription, for errors and emission insurance, etc. But you have to close few transactions before you can go to 90-10, because that's how you show that you're knowledgeable, and plus we help you with all these transactions. And I believe if you need real mentorship on the first transaction, we will charge you 70-30. So 70 goes to you, 30 to the brokerage firm. Plus the transaction fees based on the amount of the...
But it's transaction fees, meaning I'm not paying them unless I close my deal.
Exactly. So we also investing in you because we want you to close transactions. And Other companies, again, they will have sign-up fees, monthly fees, desk fees, but it's going to be more like national brands. Over there, what's the benefits are, you have access to probably better like CRM system where you can, if you have a client from, I don't know, other state like Illinois, and you need to...
You can check some information.
You can check some information. You can find the partner agent in the office in your network and find them, etc. Again, I've talked to many large real estate companies, and at some point they wanted to acquire me, but I didn't see a large benefit in their like technology. But if I would have sold the company, all the agents would have to pay like $250 a month fees. Then they will have to pay desk fees and additional fees. So that's why for me it was, I would always put myself in the shoes of agents and try to understand like how they perceive it. And I've talked to a few top producers, few agents, and our managing broker, and it's very risky because if you become a larger national brand and you still a franchisee pretty much, and you need to pay fees too. So as a broker, you have more fees on your shoulders, and I don't understand this concept. Okay. So my idea is to be a boutique firm, and if you're an agent, you're just beginning. I mean, it doesn't really matter how big is the company. What matters is the personal approach, and you will be working with people. So if you have that connection with people in the company, then go for it. And you're not gonna work with the brand itself.
Like, yeah, it makes sense. And I mean, it's all about people in the final end.
Exactly. And when you're an agent, you work with your network, they really work with you. Mm-hmm. They want to see how much transactions your company closed, how many probably listings you have in the area, etc. So you can tell them that. So don't go really for like super small company probably, but see if you like this national brand. So everybody is different.
Okay. Thinking from brokerage perspective, like, okay, you've hired a new agent, they're a total beginner, and it sounds like you are actually investing in them because you're like giving them software, you're providing training, your people are spending time to onboard them, to explain everything, etc. What are the expected outcome? I mean, how many deals new agents are normally closing during their first half a year, for example?
So from first half a year, nothing usually.
Really?
0. Yep. But second half a year, they will close about like from 3 to 7 deals. That's the statistics. So that's why if you're an agent, you first 2 months is training. By the time you cultivate the clients, it takes time, right? It can take a month or 2 months. And then you need to find them properties to close the properties. And on average, it can take from 35 to 60 days. So it's very like, in real estate, 6 months is a very short period of time. And then, but second half a year is very important. So don't get discouraged if you don't close your first deal in the first 6 months. Yes, I saw sometimes when agent just got the license, he's very well versed in the area, people know him, he has good social media presence, and as soon as he got the license, he announced about it, he can close deals like in 3 months. But this is more rare. It's maybe like 10% from the total,
So let's say closing only a few deals during the first year of the agent's career is pretty much normal. People should not expect more than a few.
You should not expect to become like top closer first year. It takes time. It's as any business. So if you start a business, how long does it take you to become like a millionaire?
It takes time. But I've checked statistics before our interview, and it seems like more than 80% of agents' business usually came from network, usually came from referrals. So it's obviously you need to spend a lot of time building this network before it will pay back.
Your network is your business in real estate. That's why. But We also provide leads, and some agents, they really grew on the leads. They built their network with the leads we were providing them from like Zillow, from Trulia, from different platforms.
Okay, so by the way, thinking about Zillow and Trulia, you have your lots listed there, right? And if somebody's interested, they contact you.
So with Zillow and Trulia, it works like that. It's you have the premium subscription. You pick your zip codes, and you pay for every month. You pay for the leads. Depends on the amount you pay. That's the amount of leads you will get. And we have a Zillow team. Zillow team connects consists of few people. There is a manager of Zillow leads, and underneath there are agents. So he does every week. They have a training call. They talk about the leads, talk about the transaction, talk about the business. And then, for example, you see the ad on the Zillow. It's not necessarily the listing of the agent whom you are calling. You can be calling the other brokerage firm, which will then connect to the listing agent. And it's not a bad thing, because you always want to work with somebody who is not the seller representative, because then it's a conflict of interest.
Got it.
So you better find an agent who is representing you specifically in that transaction, because you're not going to save unless you talk directly with the seller. And the seller's agent always work. I mean, they have fiduciary duties to both if they start working with you as a client, but as an agent, and you represent the seller initially, it's always a conflict of interest no matter what everybody else say.
Got it. Yeah, because I mean, in a perfect world, you expect agent to protect your interest and be on your side.
And when you go for the license and the training, they teach you, that if you start working with both, we are always like a transaction brokers in South Florida. And there is a difference between transaction brokerage firms, single brokerage firms, single agent, all that. It's actually have meaning. And if your broker tells you I'm the single agent brokerage firm, then you need to sign the paperwork and give to your client that in the transaction when you represent both, meaning that for this transaction you move into transaction brokerage. So this is there are a lot of details, because I have a real estate instructor license, as you know, so it's very important. The compliance is
Okay, so two particular cases I wanted to ask you. So part-time versus full-time. Do you have any successful part-time agents, or it should be full dedication to?
Yeah, very good question. So most of the cases and most of the success stories which I saw was only full-time, full-time dedication to the real estate business. Because if you do it part-time, you always will have this in mind, spread of attention. You will get calls from your clients, but you will be at the meetings at work, or you will be at the meetings at work, and then you will be thinking about something else. So you cannot chase both paths. You can be successful in one field. If you pick real estate, be successful in it, but you need full dedication. And it's not only in full-time work, you work maybe from 8 to 5, then you can do whatever. In real estate, you work from 8 to midnight. And at the first time, even going forward, because you not only need to understand the market, know the area, be more proficient than your clients, but also you need to show the houses, and always you need to be in this groove. You need to understand where the market going, how to adjust, with the new interest rate or with new news which you just read. So you always need to educate yourself. And if you work somewhere, you don't have time for it, so you will lose.
Yeah, and based on my experience, most real residential real estate open houses, etc., they happen on weekends, right? So somebody who is working on weekdays, they will also work on weekends.
No, exactly. But at the same time, you're missing out on, so your competition, if you're part-time real estate agent, is a full-time real estate agent. And full-time real estate agent have time to go and drink coffee or have lunch with the listing agent. So, and then many agents will ask, why didn't get this deal under contract? Because you didn't build this personal relationship with the selling agent.
And here we comes to my next question, because my next question was whether you think introverts can succeed as real estate agent.
Yeah.
Because I'm like severe introvert, and like you are telling this story, like communicate here, communicate there, sounds like nightmare for introverts. Do you have any success stories for introverts?
Yeah, of course. No, that's if you dedicate yourself fully to real estate, introvert, not introvert, it doesn't really matter. You can work with other introverts who are also looking to buy real estate, and maybe you don't want to be too pushy with them. You know how to act with them. Yeah, you find your best, like psychologically versed like clients with whom you can connect. So you know what introverts don't like, what they like, right? So you probably don't want to be called like every half an hour. Maybe you want only like text or messaging, messenger, or there's different approach. So that's why you can approach to all your introvert friends, sell them first, and then you can approach to your network, and in your network probably not like people, your network, right? From the inside. Nobody knows your friends better than you do, probably. I mean, than the relatives, right? But if they start working with other agents, I mean, they don't know them that well. So that's why every person has network, and maybe in your case you will be more successful in selling investment real estate rather than residential, because residential is more not only communication, but when you sell it, your clients need to go with them, show the property, and they need to have this like aha moment when they, oh my God, I love this property. Because residential sales, there is a lot of emotions involved. So when you need to feel your clients, feel what to show them, and if you don't want to do that, then maybe it's easier for you to sell investment properties where you talk about numbers. Numbers are more dry, but for investors, that's important. They don't care about emotions. They just want to invest their funds right, make good return. That's it.
Got it.
So yeah, no matter who you are, extrovert, introvert, you can be really successful in what you do, because everybody has their own network. And if you pick the niche right, then you will be super successful.
Makes sense. Еще пару минут есть?
Yeah.
Any, like, from your experience and from experience of your agents, what's the hardest part about being real estate agent?
The hardest part is time management. So every person, what's the biggest asset after you become like partially successful, whatever, but it's time. So you need to really spend your time efficiently. You need to plan your day ahead. You need to plan your meetings. For example, you need to show tomorrow you have two clients who wants to see, one client wants to see 10 homes, another one wants to see 5 homes. And then you need to plan your time very precisely, how you do your routes and your timing and etc. Then meeting with second client. And then after these 2 meetings, you need to send offers, communicate with listing agents. So in one day, you have to do so much. And if you didn't plan right, if you missed one appointment or didn't make a right turn, then your schedule can go wrong. That's why, and it's not only about showings and making offers, it's about business development, how you approach, how much time you spend on each task, and you need to make like a plan for every week. How much time you spend for business development, how much time you spend for marketing, how much time you spend for training, how much you spend for showings, etc. You also need to have personal time in that, because if you don't, you burn out. That's why time management, very important. If you organize your time right, then you have time for everything and you will be super successful.
Give an advice about prioritization to beginners.
For beginners, priority is training. Give as much time to training as possible, because when you start working with clients, you will not have time for training as much, right? And that's why if you don't invest in your education, in your training in the beginning, then you will be losing out and it's hard to catch up later. So when I just got my license, I will spend like all day, all night in the office learning about like transactions, the contracts, where to find them, how to use the systems, how to send the contract in like 1 minute. I mean, I can prepare the real estate contract as is like maybe in 30 seconds. That's it. You send it out for signatures. You don't spend time. You can do it on the road. Because if you did the showing, your client said, okay, I want to make an offer. send it to me. You prepare it in a minute, send it to them, e-signature, you send it to the listing agent. That's it. And you can do a lot of business. If you know how to do it, if you know which systems to use, and if you know all your contracts, and this is learning curve in the beginning, you will learn all that. And we provide all the tools, and other brokers firms have to provide these tools. So that's number one advice. In the first half a year, focus on training, learn, and start warming up your network. And when you're ready, when you go for training, when you pass all the tests and you got a certificate of completion for training, then you can go and tell everybody within your network, I'm ready, let's go.
Got it. Thinking about most frustrating stuff in agent's life, what it is?
It is when you have falling through the contracts. For example, you have sent 5 offers, they went under contract, then you went for inspection, and there is financing contingency where the clients need to get approvals. And I went through that myself, so I know how it feels. And then, like in my experience, 4 out of 5 contracts didn't happen because of the clients couldn't get approval on their financing. So that's 5. Yeah, and you plan that you will earn $100,000, and then you end up earning $5,000. That's devastating for an agent at first, but then you need to put yourself together and find another solution how to close these clients, because maybe you pick the wrong broker who does the mortgages.
Mortgage broker.
Find another solution. Find another mortgage broker who can help you. Can be issues with the title company, with insurance. So never give up. Just be strong and keep going. Because if you don't close it this time, you'll close it next.
Okay, and the most inspiring part about being an agent?
Inspiring part that, sometimes you will work with the client for so long, and then you did very good job, you perform well, you close with them, and at the closing table, they will tell you, okay, I want to buy investment property with you, and I will refer you to 10 of my friends. That's it. That's just super crazy inspiration. And plus in real estate business, you own your own business, you own your network, and more time you spend, more time you invest in it, more return you'll get.
Got it. Okay, thanks a lot for your answer.
Max, thank you. Very good.